Okay, good morning, Manandor. Now coming to what already we know, last time we were discussing about the tanks and groundwater. We will continue the lesson where we stopped. Okay, last time I had told you how can we or how could we make the water without wasting, through which way we can make the water to save. Now this class we are mainly discussing about the tanks. Already you know, in Telangana and Rayalaseema there are very big tanks. How it came or who constructed it. In all the times already you know, before the ruling of the Britishers came to our India already you know, and they ruled our India almost more than 200 years. And during that time or before that time there were different kinds of kings or rulers like the Kakatiya kings, Vijayanagara kings. So these kings mainly in Telangana and Rayalaseema, the Kakatiya kings and Vijayanagara kings built a large number of tanks. Okay, that's why in that area we can see different kinds of large tanks. Nowadays, the position of the tanks which we are having in our surroundings, it is very horrible because most of the tanks have been damaged. No one is minding it. Some tanks simply by coming off the mud and everything, it is almost filled. So different way the damage has been done. Now, how they have constructed the tanks or what things they used. So usually the tanks were built with a large wall of stones and mud. Large wall will be there. That wall will be constructed with stones, big stones and mud, where across a small stream, where there is the flowing of a small stream, across that they will construct a large wall with stone and mud. And it could be formed with a small wave will be there in one side. That means the flowing of water will come and it will be stored in that tank. The remaining three sides will be made with the big walls. It cannot go anywhere. That water will be coming and stored in the tank. So how these tanks are useful or which way the tanks help us? So already you know, nowadays we are drinking this mineral water or different kinds of water, which purified water or something like that. Still, even now the common people are drinking tap water. Okay, this water all we are getting through tanks only, which we have saved through streams or flowing. So the tanks help us. The water in the tanks help us not only for drinking for the people, but also for drinking for animals, but also to irrigate the land, the fields when there is no water. Already you know in our area, surrounding areas also we can see there will be different kinds of tanks. Some tank will be only for drinking purpose. Some tanks will be only for as it is wastewater or something like that, for making the animals to get bath in that. And sometimes some areas the washermen they are washing their clothes in that. So nowadays the tanks they are using in a different ways. Okay, so the main use of the water is in the tank is for drinking purpose. Okay, not only for human beings but also for animals also. Now coming to where does the groundwater come from? Already we have discussed when there is heavy rain or something, it will be flowing the water, and the areas where they are having more trees or plants or some bunds, it will be stored and it will be recharged or it will be getting into the earth. Okay, through that way the groundwater level also will be moving more. So we had already discussed about the pervious rocks and impervious rocks. Pervious rocks means the rocks which are having minute holes through which the water can be absorbed. Example for pervious rock is sandstones. Okay, sandstones are one of the example for pervious rocks, which is having pores. Pores means minute holes which can contain water. Impervious rocks, what I told, it is just opposite to pervious rocks. It does not have any pores or any holes. It does not have the capacity to absorb water. Example, granite and Kadapa limestone. And also we discussed about the minerals which we are having in the groundwater. Different kinds of minerals we will get through groundwater. Okay. Example, sodium, fluoride, chloride, iron, nitrate, etc. These all are different kinds of substances or minerals which we are getting through groundwater. Now, nowadays you can see the groundwater is being polluted. Yes or no? What is the main reason for the pollution of water? In our surroundings we can see lot of wastes simply being and dumped in some areas. Such wastes, poisonous substances will be there in that wastes. That dumped garbages, especially near the river areas, more and more it will be dumped each and every day. Slow by slow it reaches the river. That poisonous substances will be mixed in the water, and that water which was nice until then, it is getting polluted, and that polluted water when it is used, we are getting different kinds of diseases, dehydration or different kinds of skin allergies. This all is happening because of the polluted water. This pollution happens because of we only, that means the human beings. Different kinds of pollutions, they are there already. We know air pollution, sound pollution. So here we are going to discuss, we are discussing about water pollution, through which the water is being polluted. Big factories are there. Those factories, whatever the wastes, each and every day tons wastes will be there coming from that. That wastes all they are simply throwing outside near the river, and those wastes are simply being floated in the water, and that poisonous substances is mixed in the water. That not only damages human beings, aquatic animals also will be damaged. Aquatic animals means fishes. Okay. So you see, these poisonous substances, when these fishes are getting crossed or something, it will be killed or the fishes will die. That poisonous substances which went into the stomach of the fish, that will be eaten by kingfisher or some birds. Yes or no? One fish eating may not damage, but when that kingfisher or the bird is eating 2 or 3 or 4 poisonous contented fish, that poison will affect the bird also. From that to another, then that to cycle, you know, a food chain, and at last it reaches the human beings. Or such poisonous fishes which we are eating, we may get different kinds of problems. Okay, this is outer pollution of water, which is in river or pond or lake something. Now coming to underground water. Underground water is also being polluted. How? Because of the modern technology, especially fertilizers and pesticides. Olden times, the farmers, they used only organic farming. Organic farming means they will never use any chemicals or fertilizers or anything in their field. Hair or cow dungs or such which is natural fertilizer was only used. But nowadays, you know, artificial pesticides, fertilizers we are using, and the farmers are using more for getting more crops. When we are using more and more pesticides or more and more fertilizer, pesticides means which is used for killing insects or the which is damaging our crop, that okay. So this will be getting connected with the soil, Yes or no? When we are using more pesticides, when we are using more fertilizers, already it is mixed with water in soil, that will go deep into the earth and it is mixing with the underground water, and because of that the underground water is also getting polluted. Is it clear? So we learned about how outer river tank everything polluted, we came to know. Now the underground water also how it is being polluted, we came to know. Okay, now coming to the next, how can we recharge water? Okay, so underground the water, it may not stay the same throughout the year. It may change. When there is more rain, the groundwater will be more. When there is severe drought or severe summer or hot, it will be becoming less. How can we recharge groundwater? The first thing, already I told you about the hilly areas or mountain areas, from where the stream starts to flow. Okay, so the first and should do means there must be checking of flowing of water. When it is raining, the water will be flowing from up to down. So that flowing of water must be checked through planting of plants or trees or some grass, or sometimes we have to block with different kinds of bunds. Then the water will be stopped there, the water will be saved, and that will go into ground, okay, underground. That is one main thing. So there is more greater possibility of percolating. What percolating means? Going water into the earth, deep into the earth. Second one, small check dams how to be constructed. Dhaulashwaram project already you know. You might have visited near Rajahmundry there, Dhaulashwaram dams. Like that, small check dams must be constructed to save the water without flowing. That is second point. Next, percolation pits. Already we came to know. Pits means small Goya type. Okay, pits must be there, but it must be percolation pits. Percolation pits means the water must go deep. When the water is filling the pits, that pits water must go deep into the earth. Through these main 3 points, we can increase the recharge of water. Okay, the first one, to block the flowing of water from up to down by planting trees, plants, or by creating bunds or check something. Second one, cultivate small check dams or construct small check dams to save the water, to store the water. And the third one, to make percolation pits to save the water which will go into the earth. Okay. Now coming to, these are the main things what we are. And the groundwater, sometimes it is salty, sometimes it is sweet, like that. Already we discussed. What I told the reason? Because the groundwater is different taste because of the minerals. What minerals? Already we told the example, fluoride, iron, and like the different minerals are there. The minerals vary different from one surface of the earth to another surface. So these minerals are having different taste. Actually the water is tasteless. Already you know, we are drinking water. No water is having any taste. If we are taking one glass of water and if we are mixing with the sugar, it will be sweet. In another glass, if we are taking one glass of water, if we are mixing with the salt, it will be salty. So the minerals which is having the content in that area, according to that, the water taste also will be different. That is the main thing. Next, because of the minerals or because of the water which we are drinking, it will affect our bones and teeth mainly. Is it clear? That means if we are drinking different kinds of poisonous substance, minerals or something, contented water or good type of water, the difference will be seen in our growth of bones as well as teeth. Okay, you might have been seen in some people the teeth will be very yellowish because of the lack of proteins and minerals. This all happens because of the water which we are using. Clear? Okay, these are the main things what we have learned in this lesson, tanks and groundwater. Okay, is it clear? So once again we are going through that. What we discussed today? Tanks, how the olden times, how the people were constructing tanks, or who helped them. The Kakadiyas and Vijayanagara kings built mainly more tanks in Rayalaseema and Telangana. And nowadays the tanks, all those tanks have been damaged. Then different kinds of uses were there, different types of tanks were there. The water in the tanks were used in different ways for drinking of human beings, for drinking water for animals, or for giving water for the cultivation for the field. Nowadays you can see in our surrounding areas some tanks will be totally dried or it will be filled with mud and everything, and it became useless. Okay, that if we are clearing it and if we are using it in a correct way, again it will be a good possibility of recharging more and more groundwater. So how can we save the groundwater? Already we told you, we have to plant more afforestation, plant more and more trees and more plants, grass, buds and everything, and also different kinds of small check dams must be constructed across the streams, and percolation pits must be given. Okay, if we take all this into account, we can have the groundwater to be more and more, and it will be more and more useful, and we can use it when there is a lack of water. For all this purpose, we have to cultivate more plants. Our surroundings must be more ecosystematically built. Okay, these are the main things what we have learned in this lesson. Okay. So once again go through the lesson very well from starting onwards to end, to pervious rocks or impervious rocks or vegetation. How can we save the water without wasting, or what are the tastes of the water, why the water is having different tastes. Some areas it will be sweety, some areas it will be tasty or sour. That all, as I told you, that all happens because of the minerals. Minerals are like fluoride, chloride, iron, or different kinds of minerals are there. Area to one surface of the earth to another surface of the earth, the minerals are different. That is the main reason the water is having different taste in different areas. Okay, so once again go through that chapter very well, and whatever the works is given each and every day, read very well, go through that very well, and have a nice time. Okay, stay home, stay safe, and stay healthy. Bye.